Well, good morning. Welcome to Debbie's Back Porch. So glad to have you with us. You know, I needed something quick this afternoon. Had a guest dropping by. Wanted to have some little snacks. So something quick and easy. I had some avocados. So I whipped up a little dip. Put a few corn chips and some vegetables. Nothing better than friends, food, and talk. Before I show you how to make this, give us a thumbs up, please, if you like our videos. And if you subscribe and click the little bell at the top right, you'll get a notice when I post new videos. Now let's get cooking. I have 2 avocados. Avocados are healthy and they're good for you. I have yogurt here. This is my homemade yogurt, and there's 8 ounces in this little pack. I'm going to use half of it. Then I have a nice red bell pepper over here. It's a pretty one too. I'm only going to use a little slice of this, enough to make about 2 tablespoons full of chopped red pepper, and about twice that much onion, so about 4 tablespoons full of chopped onion. And I have a lime. I'm going to use half of that lime. Then I have some cumin, and I don't use a lot of it, but oh, it makes a great flavor with avocados. And I've got some salt and pepper, and I've got some minced garlic. If you have fresh garlic, you want to use about 2 cloves, or as much as you want. Now I'll do some prep. Well, I already did 1 avocado, but then it dawned on me you might like to see how to peel and prep an avocado. I trimmed the little stem end off, but you don't really have to. I just always do. And then you just cut it. It doesn't really matter where you cut it. Just cut it about in the middle, halfway around, and then turn it over, cut it all the way. And just, you'll feel, go through to the seed. You know, I really need to get another knife. This is not my sharpest knife. And then twist it, and the seed should come out just by pulling it out with the knife like that. But this one didn't want to, so I'm just going to coax it out with a spoon. Usually they'll come out, just pop out. But I think I got this one a little off center. I'm going to smooth that out just a little bit there. So these are really, really easy to peel. I'm going to cut this one right down the middle. And for this dish, I just spooned it into the cup to blend. But you know, if you ever wanted to serve them sliced, you just then grab the edge there, pull the skin off, and then we'll slice it like this. And some people also just make it into cubes. It sticks to my knife. But there you go. There are you some pretty slices if you want to do it that way. Do it again. Just peel that off. And then slice it. There you go. That's all there is to it. We're not using this one sliced, so I'm just going to chop it on up and put it in my, well, I have a 4-cup measuring cup over here that I'm going to use to blend it up. So I'll just give it a couple of chops. So quick and easy peeling. Then you can see here about how much pepper I have. I'm going to just chop this up. I'm not going to bother with mincing it very finely because, as I said, the whole thing is going to go into my 4-cup measuring cup, and then I'm going to hit it with the stick blender. It's going to be easy peasy to make. If I chop this real finely, it's about 2 tablespoons full. But what I'm using here is about 1/8 of a pepper. And you can use green bell pepper, or you could use a jalapeno if you want to. I don't do hot. I love sweet peppers. So there you go, 2 tablespoons, maybe 3. In you go. Then I'm going to add the yogurt, and about half of this container, so about 4 ounces. And this is yogurt that I made, but you can use any strained Greek yogurt. What you want is just a tiny little bit of tartness. Yogurt with live cultures is so good for your digestive system. And if you like it and eat a lot of it, you may want to think about making your own. I'll put a link at the end of this video. It's so easy and so much cheaper. So I've sliced off a piece of onion and then I've chopped it up. You can use any onion. I happen to have a purple one. Any onion works. Even some green onions would be great. And just putting it right here in my container. This is very lightly seasoned. I don't put a lot in it, but I am going to add about a 1/4 teaspoonful of cumin. And if you want, you can use garlic powder here instead of the fresh garlic at the beginning. I sometimes do that, but this is going in the stick blender, so the minced garlic will get blended up pretty well. And I'm not adding a whole lot of garlic, but you can add more if you like. I like to use this, this is pickled garlic that you can buy in the grocery store. And that's a 1/4 teaspoonful, which is about 2 cloves if you're using fresh. Then I'm going to add about a 1/4 teaspoonful of the juice. It brings good flavor. It's yummy. Garlic gets a little hard for my hands, and so sometimes I use fresh garlic, but most often I used the jar that you buy in the grocery store. It's just easier, and it tastes good. So I'm adding a 1/2 teaspoonful of salt. Full disclosure here, we added salt at the table. I'm going to say you should add 1 teaspoonful, and that's what I'm going to list in the ingredients. And I failed to list the cilantro at the beginning, but I've just pinched off, I don't know how much, but when I get done with this, it will be about 2 tablespoons full of cilantro, fresh cilantro, chopped up fairly finely. And I know a lot of folks don't care for cilantro. You either love it or you hate it. So if you don't want to add the cilantro, just leave it out. You can add a little parsley instead, or you can just not add anything. But I love the little flavor that the cilantro brings. And to me, avocado, lime, and cilantro are a perfect mix. Now let's get the lime. So I'm going to use half of this lime, and I'll just roll it around on the counter a little bit to soften it to start with. And you can use lemon if you would rather, but you do need to put some kind of acid in this, not just for the flavor, but to maintain the color. So we're just going to squeeze about half of this lime into a spoon, just in case there happened to be a seed. And you'll see I'm getting here, it's probably a little bit over a tablespoonful, but about a tablespoonful, if by some chance you had your lime in a bottle. You get no judgment from me on that. And I think I failed to show you this. I put a little pepper in mine. You could also use some red pepper flakes, but I've got this nifty new pepper grinder, so I want to show it to you. So now for the handiest kitchen tool ever. This is my stick blender. And this is a really thick mixture, so you're going to have to put it down and in a couple of times to get it started, just to get the mixing going. Now, when I'm done with this, there will still be some tiny chunks. And that's on purpose, because I like to have a few tiny chunks in there, but not too many. And the stick blender, I use the stick blender for this instead of my big food processor or a blender, just because the amount is kind of small and it kind of falls to the bottom of my big food processor. But you see it's mixing up there. Up and down, in and out. Now, I'm pulsing as I go, and as it gets a little more mixed, I'll just turn the stick blender on and let it run. The total time here is probably less than a minute. And I'm going to show you the whole time. Now let's just check it. I'm going to pull it off a little bit, and I'm checking it now for flavor, for taste. If you don't have a stick blender and you've been thinking about getting one, there are lots of good brands out there. This was a fairly inexpensive one. But when you're looking, I recommend that you get one that's solid metal down the shaft, not one that has a plastic casing. Because in my experience, no matter how careful you are, water gets in that plastic casing and then you can't get it out. So you'll see the texture there. I think I want to blend it just a little bit more. I saw some fairly good sized chunks of avocado. And while I want some chunks, I don't want big ones, and I want it to stay on a chip or a vegetable stick. So I'm going to mix it. Here's a little tip. Add about a quarter, even to a half, depending on how thin you want it, of avocado oil or olive oil to this, and blend it up, and you've got a tasty salad dressing. So a little taste, and it really does need another half teaspoonful of salt. But it's yummy. And now I'm going to plate this up. My friend's on her way. So I've dressed this up a little with a little bit more chopped red pepper and just a little sprig of cilantro there. And I'm going to try it first on corn chips. And I don't eat much corn chips, but you know, I do like them. And that's my friend. That's Mary. And she's got a carrot. She's going to try carrot. And you know, it's creamy, even though it has a little bit of avocado. And Mary said to tell you she wasn't double dipping. She turned the carrot stick around. So, another serving suggestion, by the way, would be the cheese chips for a really low carb snack. And I'll post that video, a link at the end of this one. I hope you try this on a hot summer day. This is a nice cool dip. I hope you like it. I think you will. And I hope to see you again tomorrow on Debbie's Back Porch.